Oh my gosh, I thought it was a stump. It's a big fish. It's a big fish. Oh my gosh. Oh. Good morning, y'all. Capt.Collier here. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Brandon. I fish here along the Alabama Gulf Coast for just about anything and everything. Today we're back out here on the Blackjack. I'm solo right now. And I'm actually filming my intro about midways through the trip. Unfortunately, I had some audio complications, but we're back to normal now. Hopefully I can get the big fish that I caught this morning. Hopefully I have some audio for that. Spoiler alert, probably my personal best flounder I caught this morning, and I actually thought it was a snag, but I'll let that footage just kind of roll through. But October, we're in the early part of October right now, and here along the Alabama coast, October is prime time big flounder season. There's a lot of big fish feeding, getting ready to spawn or move and spawn offshore. And it just makes for a great opportunity for flounder fishing in general. Today we're stuck in a river system right now, mainly because the wind's blowing 20-25 mile an hour. I don't know if y'all can see the white caps blowing here behind me. The wind mic here is definitely helping out with the audio on that. But we've caught a few fish this morning, nothing crazy other than my first fish. We're gonna go ahead and get back to fishing. Hope y'all enjoy. If you do, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you enjoy fishing. Let's get to it. So I am gonna go ahead and show y'all what I'm throwing today, because I don't know if I got the audio from this morning explaining what I'm throwing. But this is a new bait by Z-Man. This is the 5-inch big ballerz. This is a great looking bait. It will be coming out probably by the time y'all are watching this video, but it's got a nice ball tail, plenty of whip action to it. And as y'all know, Z-Man products, they're very resilient to bait fish like pinfish and croakers. So you can catch a lot of fish on this one lure without it getting tore up. I've got a 1/4 ounce death grip jig head paired up with a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader, 20-pound braid, and I'm throwing this on a 7-foot medium power extra fast action rod. That's a mouthful. And I've also got a 3000 Shimano Vanford. This is a great lightweight setup that you can throw all day long and you won't be fatigued. And this is probably one of my favorite setups other than my custom Dr. Doormat rod. But with all that being said, we're gonna get back in here and catch some more fish. And as always, y'all, I always like to put a little bit of stank on these lures. Cannot hurt. Put some smell on these baits. And this is the Procure. This is the Flounder Pounder. What a genius name for a product. And the water is not great where we're at right now, but I do think we're gonna get into some prettier water later on in the afternoon. Y'all, this wind is gonna be tough for us today. It's gonna make fishing very difficult. So we're gonna try and position the boat the best way possible to properly work these jigs. We've got a few little points on this wall that I kind of like to hit. There's some flooded grass right here. And we've also got an opening to a mouth of a creek over here. And as y'all know, if you flounder fish, these are great ambush points and areas to target flounder. First cast of the day going out right here. And if y'all watched the channel before, y'all know when I'm flounder fishing, I do kind of work my bait a little bit faster than most, mainly because I like to cover a lot of water. I feel like the more casts you can make, the more fish you'll catch. Now this is all, you know, personal preference. Y'all do it however you want, but I just do a bounce, one bounce, and let it fall back down to the bottom. And it usually works out pretty good for me. Just really need to make sure you're maintaining contact with the bottom. So even though I do work it fast, I ensure that my bait touches the bottom every time it falls. Oh yeah. Right there along the edge of that bulkhead. It's always a great opportunity for a big flounder to be laying. There's a flounder. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that feels like a good one. Or it might be a stump. That's a stump fish, I think. Oh my gosh, I thought it was a stump. It's a big fish. Oh, it's a big fish. Oh, it's a big fish. Please stay on the hook. That was not a good hook set. Oh, it's a big fish. It's a big fish. Oh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's a big fish. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a big fish. Y'all, first fish of the day. That's probably a 23-inch fish. I thought I had a log. Jesus. Oh my gosh. My heart is pounding. Holy crap. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Let me see where that bait's at. Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm gonna put her in this live well and see if we can get her to rejuvenate a little bit. She almost swallowed the hook. I'm gonna see if we can make sure she's gonna make it before we throw her back. Golly, that's a stud. That's a 24-inch fish. I don't think she's gonna make it. Probably should just cut that hook. As I'm talking here, she's kind of spicing up here in the live well, so I'm just gonna let this water recirculate for a little bit, and maybe she'll come back to life. This is a big breeder fish, so if y'all do flounder fish, you catch big ones, please consider releasing these fish, because these are the ones that have the great genetics that lay thousands and thousands of eggs for more bigger flounder to come in the future. But if she don't make it, then we will be stuffing her, because this would be a great stuffed fish. So that's a perfect example of me always saying, when you get a flounder bite, just take your time, wait a few seconds, make sure it's a fish, and then set the hook. Maybe not wait as long as I just did, but honestly thought I was stuck. And they will not let it go, I'm telling y'all. Especially if you put some scent on your lures, they love it. And that was on the Bayou Blues, or I'm sorry, Bayou Tiger Big Baller Z-Man lure. She is still in good shape, so we're gonna get back out here. I think we're gonna kind of ease up in this bayou right here. I've never fished past this point here, so as I mentioned earlier in the video, we might be doing a little prospecting, some new waters. It's always good to kind of venture out, try new stuff, different stuff from your normal fishing areas, because you never know when it could be better somewhere else. And that's how you learn. You don't know till you go, I think. Oh, yep. Nope, that's not a fish. That got me giddy now, wanting to set the hook on everything. That was definitely a stick fish. There she is. Smaller guy. Had to turn the cameras off for a minute, it got kind of slow. There's a little small guy. Flat boy. Oh yeah, definitely not legal there. That is probably a 13-incher. Y'all, don't be surprised that a fish of this size will attempt to eat a 5-inch bait. They ain't scared. So I just got through working this whole little bayou over here. Worked my way to this other bulkhead here. And she was right on that wall. So let's see if she's got friends. Maybe some bigger friends. That's a fish. Way up under that dock. Ah, small guy. There we go. It's a fish though. About the same size as that other one we caught. Probably right at legal size. She was way up under that dock there. Kind of as I expected, these fish are a little scattered this morning. Definitely not stacked up in one spot. So really just having to bounce around these docks and different structures. Probably going to do this for another 30 or 40 minutes or so, and then we'll probably go back in a little bit more protected waters and hit some more marsh bank. Well, unfortunately, y'all, I just realized I did not have my mic on for everything before up to this point, but I've got it on now, so I apologize for the wind noise if there is any from this camera. But we kind of moved spots now. We're kind of changing gears. We're going to be fishing some of these marsh banks and kind of focusing our efforts along some of these creek drains and these mouth openings. And hopefully we can come across a few more fish. I haven't really fished any of this before, so I don't know historically if this is a productive area. There's only one way to find out, and that is fishing it. We don't have anything else going on today. We've got a good falling tide right now. So what better time than to fish it now and check it out. Ooh, some good looking water movement back here. Got like some swirling action going on. Good looking spot for a fish. There's the fish. There he goes. I knew that looked too good over there. I don't know if that's a flounder though. Kind of acting weird. Staying down. It might be a good fish. Acting kind of weird. Oh yeah, not a giant by any means. Good keeper size. Boom! Don't you just love it when you can call your shots? Even though I probably called a shot about 10 times a day and there wasn't a fish there. That's a good 15, probably 15-inch flounder right there. Beautiful, beautiful. Right over there. I don't know if y'all can see on the GoPro. Obviously in the mouth of this little creek drain right here, and then you got, I guess that's some current moving with the wind. It's just kind of swirling around right there. Which makes for a good area for one to be laying. I think we're gonna go ahead and throw this guy in the live well. We'll probably keep him since we've already killed one. We might as well kill one or two more to make a good meal. All right, y'all. Well, I didn't really get a chance to show this fish off a while ago because I was trying to get her to come back to life, but unfortunately she choked the hook. But that is a 23 3/4 inch flounder. She weighed about 7 pounds on the boga grip. What a giant fish, especially for our area. And I'm definitely blessed and happy to be able to land this fish. I hate that she died, but you know, sometimes you just can't help it. And she's definitely gonna eat up well. We're probably gonna probably stuff her, put her in the oven. But y'all, check out that fish right there. Beautiful, beautiful. We're gonna stick her back on ice and continue fishing. All right, y'all, we're back at the house now. Unfortunately, fish did not make it, as y'all seen, but I can guarantee y'all one thing: she is not gonna go to waste. There she is right there, measured in about 23 3/4, and she weighed about 6.9 pounds on the bogas. And what we're gonna do is we are gonna fillet and debone this fish, or we're gonna stuff it, stick her in the oven, and enjoy all the meat that's gonna come off of her. Y'all, it's been so long since I've killed a flounder this big, and actually this is my personal best flounder. And we're gonna go ahead and get started here. As y'all know, we're gonna be using our sword fillet knife as always. This is the 7-inch straight blade, medium flex. And first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna scale this fish. And I'm gonna use a serrated blade. You can use a spoon, you can use an actual fish scaler, but this is what I have, and this is what we're gonna use. Basically just start at the tail and just kind of make swipes along the skin. Every now and then just kind of wipe the scales off your blade. And we're gonna make sure we get all the scales off of this fish here, because we don't want to be chewing on scales. Just make sure you kind of take your time, get them all around the fins, all up to the head. All right, so that's the white side. Now we're gonna move on to the brown side. A little bit easier to get the scales off this side for some reason. All right, so we've got this fish scaled on both sides. As you can see, there's our big pile of scales there. We're gonna go ahead and spray her down, get all this cleaned up, make sure we got them all, both sides. So we got all the scales off both sides of the flounder. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove the head. We're gonna use this serrated blade to make things easier. And that was very easy. She had an empty belly. She was starving. And we're actually going to save this head and give this to my buddy Dylan, who works at the Sea Lab on Dolphin Island, and he'll be able to do whatever he needs to do to determine how old this fish was, which is very cool. We're going to go ahead and clean this gut cavity here, make a cut right there. He might need whatever these are too, so I'm going to pull these out. Y'all comment below if y'all know what those are. Don't really, that might be eggs, I don't know. All right, now we are ready to make our incisions. We're going to be using straight blade here, and what we're going to do is we're going to run our blade right down the middle of this flounder here, right down this lateral line. Make us a cut, just like so, like butter. Y'all, it's been so long since I've cleaned a flounder this big. That meat is thick. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to run our blade down both sides and just peel away. It's almost too difficult that the flounder is thick to be able to get a good angle. We can do it. As y'all can see, I'm just lifting that fillet up, taking my time and peeling away. But we want to ensure that once we get out here towards the end where the fins are, that we don't go all the way through. We want to stop just before. Right there is where we want to stop. You can see right here where these fin bones, fin meat is. That's where we're going to stop. Flip her around, do the same thing on this side. Alright, so end result. On the top side, missed a little bit of meat right there, but that's kind of what you want to have on this side. And we'll go ahead and close that back up. And you can do this several ways. There's several ways you can debone a flounder. This is just how I'm doing it, because this is the way I've done it in the past. It works. So we're basically just going to do the same exact thing on this side. Make our initial cut. Start peeling away here. Crazy how thick this meat is, even on the white side. As y'all know, this is about how thick the meat is on an average 16, 17, 18-inch flounder. So that's what we're left with on that side. Not too bad of a job. And what we're going to do now is we're going to get some snips. We're going to run our snips right along the edge where the fins meet right here. Cut that out and basically take this whole skeleton out of this fish. So we got our metal tin snips right here. You can also use scissors as well. But as I mentioned before, we're going to get a good tight cut here along the end. Alright, we've got our initial cut here. Now keep in mind there are still small pin bones right here, but once you cook this fish, you can basically just pull on these fins here and all of that will pull out. But we want to kind of leave that intact to kind of help keep the stuffing and everything inside of the fish. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Alright, we made it to the end, making our last cuts. And there you go, there's the skeleton of our almost 24-inch flounder. And so this is what you're left with right here. This is a not completely deboned flounder, but for the most part, you'll have a few bones right here in this crack. But as I mentioned before, once we put stuffing in this fish, get it all seasoned up, close it up, and you cook it, you can just pull these fins out and just pull all those little bones out. But y'all check that out right there. So we're gonna go ahead and get this fish prepped up in the kitchen, and I've got some friends coming over. We're gonna cook it up and enjoy it. We'll see y'all there. Alright, so we are in the kitchen now. I had to call on back up. I got Tanner Dees here with me in the kitchen today. If y'all watched previous videos, y'all know he's a great cook. Me, not so much. But we've got our stuff.
Better than you.
Yeah, that's why he's a little bit thicker than me. But we've got our stuffed flounder here. We did not make our own stuffing. We actually bought this from Rouse's. If you just want a quick, easy way to do this, it's great. Cannot go wrong with just buying store-bought stuffing. We did buy some shrimps that we cooked. You'll see in the video that we put on here. But we also seasoned the inside of this flounder. We're getting ready to go ahead and close it up right now. And y'all check this out right here. Just look how beautiful that is. And we're just gonna close it up just like that. And we're also going to season the outside here. Put some, this is all we're using. Everglades, fish and chicken, some onion powder, garlic salt, just a little bit here and there. Tanner's also got some additions over here. What we got going on?
I got like a Parmesan cream sauce thing going on that we're going to put on top of some noodles and eat it along with this flounder.
Yeah, so we got some sides going on. We're going to go ahead and season this fish up. We've got our oven at 425 degrees. And something that I have never heard before, but my buddy Bennett just told me. So basically, what is it, 1 minute per inch at 425?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess for a rule of thumb, if y'all ever decide to stuff flounder, 1 minute per inch of flounder. So this flounder should take around 22 to 24 minutes.
Well, you got to factor in the stuffing a little bit.
Yeah, you got to factor that in as well. You basically, look at it after every 10 or 15 minutes or so. But we're going to go ahead and season this fish up, put it in the oven. We'll see y'all when we get ready to eat it.
Woo! Sizzling action. Ooh.
So the 1 minute per inch was definitely wrong. Bennett. This fish actually took probably about 30 minutes or so, but that was not including the stuffing that we put in here. So I'll give you that, you know, benefit of the doubt.
I think if it wasn't stuffed, I know they can't see me, but if it wasn't stuffed,
it's a good starting point.
I think that it would be perfect.
I'm just giving them heck. But as I mentioned in the cleaning part, you can see right here that I've already started pulling these fin bones out right here. I'm gonna try not to burn myself as I continue pulling these out, but it seems like it's working pretty good for us. Coming right on out. Let's see, we're gonna use this fork to our advantage here. Continue pulling these out. And even if they don't come out all the way, you know, it's not really that big of a deal because we're just gonna like dig into this. All right, so we got our visitors here. This is Butch, his wife. We got Bennett, Tanner. Tanner, appreciate you coming to help cook. I mean, I could have done all this by myself, but you know, it was nice to have a little bit of help.
It's always a good time to come over and make a meal.
Oh yeah. So we're just gonna start digging in. Butch is
Want help?
going in first. Yeah, it might be a two-man team deal here. Getting the fillet and the stuffing.
I like a snapper place.
You gotta get some of that stuff in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Melissa?
Oh, yes, please. This is like top of my list for favorite fish. Grouper and flounder. Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest now.
It's incredible.
Incredible.
Flounder is so light and delicious.
Yeah. Is it cooked all the way? Thoroughly? Yeah. 30 minutes is good enough? Okay, just skin.
That's good.
Somebody needs to try the tail. Little potato chip over there.
Like a brown.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's good.
No.
Yeah.
No flavor.
Just bland.
Crunchy.
Yeah. So as y'all can see, we have pretty much demolished half of this flounder right now. I've got a few bites of it right here, but I do want to let Tanner kind of explain this whole ordeal. You know, what did you do to get to this? The cream sauce and the macaroni.
It's basically Parmesan mac and cheese. I cooked down shallots and garlic and a little bit of a jalapeno. I melted 2 bags of Parmesan cheese. I know Brandon got a clip of that.
Yep.
And we started all together. And then I just browned the cheese. And then I put it on top of the noodles while they were real hot. And then after I did that, I made a cream sauce. And we added the cream sauce in with the noodles and stirred that all around and got the cheese melted up real good. And so everything kind of merged with the noodles and made some sort of Parmesan mac and cheese thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so basically
kind of came up with it random.
I could have done all this, you know, myself, of course.
Yeah, I'm sure.
A couple spare shrimp in there.
There were.
From the live well. Yeah, for real.
That's where they came from.
But y'all, stuffed flounder, you can't beat it.
So good.
And honestly, buying the stuffing already pre-made, it's the cheapest way to go. It was $9
$9 for a whole pound of stuffing.
Yeah, $9. Kind of hard. Kind of hard to beat.
Impossible to beat.
White, flaky meat, just as you would expect from a flounder. Delicious, cooked all the way.
This thing is thick as a snapper fillet.
Really wish I would have been able to release this fish, but you know, sometimes you cannot help it. They swallow the hook. It is what it is. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. If y'all would consider subscribing to the channel, if y'all like any type of saltwater fishing here along the Alabama Gulf Coast. And if y'all want to listen to an Alabama saltwater fishing podcast, Butch here actually runs the Alabama Saltwater Fishing Podcast here along the coast. And Great Days Outdoors, right? The magazine and all that good stuff.
Yep. Great report this week.
Yep. I have a link for it down below. We actually kind of talked about this trip briefly. But until next time, we'll see y'all back out in the water.